welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Hi again, everybody. Jim Nantz. Welcome back to the NFL Today here on CBS. Coming up for most of you, the Denver Broncos will be battling the San Diego Chargers, both teams 3-2 on the season. Others will watch Kansas City against Arizona. Last week, Brian Griese threw 3 interceptions in a loss at Seattle. He has a sore shoulder, but will start for the Broncos today against San Diego. Meanwhile, out in Tempe, Jake the Snake, his Cardinals only 1-3 on the season. That's for the 9th time in the last 10 years they're off to that shaky start. So it's Denver, San Diego, or Kansas City, Arizona coming up next. We'll see you at halftime.
Subway presents Fresh Starts. A salute to the game's early season surprises. Subway, eat fresh. 2 receivers shined in wild Week 5 overtime games. Terry Glenn returned to the Patriots lineup, catching 7 passes for 110 and a touchdown in a 29-26 win over the Chargers. 49ers receiver Terrell Owens caught 3 touchdown passes from quarterback Jeff Garcia, including the game winner in a 37-31 victory over the Falcons.
Whoa, whoa, did you bake this bread? Do you have any idea where it came from?
No.
So, what do you think? Don't you just love the smell of fresh baked cardboard? Subway bakes their bread fresh every day, right, Nancy?
Right, Jim. Subway's got 4 new delicious Subway Selects, like the tasty Southwest chicken, all in fresh baked gourmet bread.
Once you go fresh, you never go back.
Subway, eat fresh!
Test your football knowledge at Subway. Just upsize your fresh value meal and get one of our 2 32-ounce gridiron trivia cups.
Change the face of digital photography with the Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
Introducing the best America Online ever. New version 7.0. It's better, faster, and easier.
It's like a click and you're connected.
7.0 is fast.
It's got all the new features. It's just so easy.
All new AOL version 7.0.
Welcome.
It's everything you love about America Online. You've got mail. Now with cool new features and places to go.
I'm falling in love with the new features. 7.0 is the best.
Don't be a chicken, it's easy.
America Online, new version 7.0. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call 1-800-4ONLINE.
Last season, an NFL worst 1-15 record left the Chargers flat. Stuck in the San Diego sand, this team going nowhere needed someone to take them places. Doug Flutie has won everywhere he has played. And with the addition of the league's most explosive offensive rookie, the Chargers hope to ride a wave of enthusiasm to the top of the AFC West. From Qualcomm Stadium, a most important matchup of 3-2 teams in the AFC West, the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. And welcome to San Diego, everyone. Along with Phil Simms, I'm Greg Gumbel. Question marks for the Denver Broncos. Brian Griese, a sore right shoulder. The Broncos are wondering if he can perform up to standards today.
They're concerned about that right shoulder. Tested. They took an MRI. It looked structurally sound, so you don't have to worry there. He said he felt good in practice on Thursday and Friday. He did well. But, Greg, the big thing in this league is you feel good during the week, but when you get hit out here on Sundays, how's that shoulder going to react?
On the other side of the field, you'd have to say that the San Diego Chargers are very pleased with their new import this year, quarterback Doug Flutie.
Well, when Doug Flutie comes to town, excitement usually follows him, and the Charger fans and the Charger football team are excited about him. He's played very well. He's provided leadership for the San Diego Chargers. The biggest thing is he's not turning the football over.
Each of these teams trying to gain ground on the division-leading Oakland Raiders today. Let's check in on the sidelines now with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, Mark Banker takes over as the Chargers' 3rd defensive coordinator of the season today, following in the footsteps of Joe Pascal out with back surgery and Jim Vaccarella, who unexpectedly resigned on Monday. Banker, it's his first time as a coordinator in the National Football League. He told us on Friday a lot of nights this week So much more so because he'll be facing the man known as the mastermind, Mike Shanahan. Back to you, Greg.
There is Mike Shanahan, who was not at all pleased with the performance of his team in a loss at Seattle last week, and he will be very interested in the intensity that the Broncos bring to this game today. The Chargers have won the toss and will receive. That's Jason Elam, set to kick it away. Deep for San Diego are Ronnie Jenkins, number 28, Terrell Fletcher, number 41, and we are underway. From the 12-yard line, it's Jenkins to the 25, breaks free, has running room with Elam to beat. Jenkins being chased from behind, but he will go all the way for the touchdown. Yards.
Greg, you wanted to know how are the Denver Broncos, are they ready for this football game? Sometimes when you're too excited, you over pursue, you get out of your lane, and look what happens. Ronnie Jenkins breaks the tackle. Nobody is there in the spot. When he cuts it back, he goes for the touchdown.
The second special teams touchdown allowed by the Broncos in as many games. The extra point by Wade Ritchie is good. Ronnie Jenkins came into this game with 18 kickoff returns, averaging just over 25. That average will go up.
First off, it's a short kick, and sometimes when the football is kicked about 10 or 15 yards shorter, when the rundown people are expecting it, they don't break down quick enough, so the runner gets to you too quick, you back, and that's what it looks like. What happened that time is the Bronco, the defenders, weren't ready for him to get up to him. He got by him before they knew it.
The second time in his career that Ronnie Jenkins has returned a kickoff for a touchdown. Returned one last year in his rookie season.
Well, it's Frank Bush, the special teams coach of the Broncos. Mike Shanahan wants to know what player was out of position to cause that touchdown. And Mike Shanahan, when we met with him last night, and the Denver Bronco players, very testy, on edge, knew they had to come out, play real well. Now, not only being here, they got to overcome that.
Mike Shanahan put his team in pads on Wednesday and Thursday of this past week, and that's almost unheard of as you look at Mike Riley, the third-year head coach of the San Diego Chargers.
And he's a little excited. You know, look at Mike. He can't, oh, how this is good. Started, we already got us a nice lead.
Chris Cole on the receiving end of this kickoff now for the Broncos from the 4. Cuts it to the outside. The 30, and is ridden down just shy of the 40-yard line by Tay Cody. 36-yard return, and here comes Brian Greasy. Hit by Lamar King at Seattle last week, aggravating an injury he suffered in Kansas City 2 weeks ago. As you look at his numbers.
Well, there's a couple things. We'll talk about it as the game goes on, but we met Brian Greasy last night, and I said to him, not only you got to prepare for the game this week, which is always hard, you got to put in all that extra time trying to get well, and he said it was a very tough week for him getting ready.
Greasy to throw right off the bat. Throws, it is incomplete, intended for Eddie Kinnison.
Let's look at the Denver offensive line. Last week they got pushed, so they need to come out and be aggressive today.
Steve Herndon getting the start at right guard for the injured Dan Neal. Anderson and Haith in the backfield. Smith and Kinnison the wide receivers. Dwayne Carswell the tight end. Rodney Harrison limping off the field after that hit. And now on the far side of the field, Eddie Kinnison taking a breather.
Let's take a look at that first pass by Brian Greasy, Greg. It looked like trouble as it was going down the field. You see Rodney Harrison coming in, throwing his body into Eddie Kinnison, and you saw Eddie Kinnison's his head come back a little, so he's got to be a little shook up over that hit.
Eddie Kinnison coming off of his best game as a Charger last week in the loss to Seattle. He had 6 catches for 84 yards and his only touchdown of the season. Jason, number 31, has gone onto the field in place of Rodney Harrison. He is a third-year safety out of North Carolina State.
Well, what was interesting, you see how Rodney Harrison, he threw his body into the receiver instead of leading with his shoulder or his head, which would have been illegal.
Keith Poole has replaced Kennison in the lineup. Greasy throws, far side, overthrows Rod Smith. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, I always think, I look at the Denver Broncos, how they come out and they're attacking this Charger defense. When the week before you get pushed around, you want to come out and set a tone, and that's be physical. So, that, Greg, I thought they would come out. You see Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator. I thought they would come out and try to run the football, settle things down, get to being physical, and then work in your quarterback who was worried about his shoulder.
Travis McGriff is also on the field for the Broncos. The pass is overthrown again, intended for Dwayne Carswell, the tight end.
And both teams trying to really set the tone of what they want to accomplish today. And I would think both head coaches were wishing their defense would get out there first, because that's always the easiest way to set a tone for your football team.
Number 85 is deep to take Tom Ruin's punt, and that's Tim Dwight, who may well be the fastest guy in the state. Wobbly kick, and Dwight from his 18. Shaking a couple of tacklers, and finally down at about the 28 or 29-yard line. 43-yard punt and 11-yard return, and we take our first timeout here in San Diego.
Pathetic.
Hey, those are our kids you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about your ordinary fast food. You could try new KFC Honey Barbecue Wings.
Hurry, get 8 KFC Honey Barbecue Wings for only $2.99 or 20 for only $6.99.
There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go! No.
Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue.
Man, that dude's awesome.
Get Selsun Power.
Hey, want to switch?
Sure.
Introducing the all-new Avalanche. The only vehicle that switches from an SUV to a pickup.
Good idea.
Chevy Avalanche. Like a rock.
Less than a minute into the game, it is a 7-0 lead for the San Diego Chargers, and Doug Flutie out on the field. 33 and 16 as a starting quarterback, 19 and 3 when he's at home, and he pulls it down now, scrambling, and goes down at about the line of scrimmage.
Chargers going to try to go deep early. They needed pressure on the quarterback. Looking at the offensive line in front of Doug Flutie, Kendall Jaycox is having an outstanding year at center for him.
In the backfield, the second leading rusher in the NFL, and LaDainian Tomlinson, the outstanding rookie. Jeff Graham and Curtis Conway are the wide receivers.
But Greg, we talked, there's Norv Turner, offensive coordinator. We talked to Trevor Price, a defensive lineman for the Denver Broncos. He knows they're going to come out, be aggressive, and get to the quarterback.
Here's Tomlinson. Tomlinson spinning across the 30 to about the 33.5-yard line. John Mobley and Romanowski with the stop in that Denver defense up front. Washington, McLaughlin, Trevor Price, and Kavika Pittman.
Look at the Denver Broncos linebackers. Last week, they were not aggressive. They got to come out today and be much more aggressive and help it stop in the run.
In the secondary, Delta O'Neal with 4 interceptions and a touchdown. Walker has a pick. Kenoy Kennedy and Eric Brown are the safeties. And there's defensive coordinator Ray Rhodes as Doug Flutie puts the Chargers into 4 wide receiver offense. Flutie, quick pass, incomplete. Intended for Tim Dwight coming across the field, and the Chargers will have to kick it away.
Well, the Chargers had the perfect play called against the defense. The defense was going to be aggressive. So what you do is you cross your receivers, and when you do that, it makes it hard for the defender to chase you. Tim Dwight is open. Doug Flutie just can't get the ball to him.
Pro Bowl punter Darren Bennett will kick it away. Led the NFL in punting last season with a 46.2 yard per punt average. Alpha O'Neill is deep. High booming kick from the 15. Dodges a tackle and is down at the 24-yard line. 51-yard punt by Bennett and a 9-yard return. 7-0 Chargers.
In 1935, Foxwood Farms started with 1 horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred, the truck a Chevy Suburban. Today, they have a few more horses, but there's still only 1 truck, Chevy Suburban. With an available 8.1-liter Vortec engine, it's capable of towing up to 6 tons, making it the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
I mean, why go to college? Have you thought about joining a cult? You know, you don't pay any taxes.
Gross incompetence at work. Another side effect of hunger. We recommend Snickers.
Packed with peanuts, caramel, and chocolate.
Snickers. Don't let hunger you.
Talk to LiftMaster and get the world's #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Call LiftMaster now.
I just called to ask, how are the kids? And she flowers the kids.
But if I heard right, then you'd come home and say, why didn't you flower my kids?
Am I here right now? This is just me.
No, ma'am. It's the static on your cell phone. Here, Sprint PCS built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network. So your calls are clear.
So no more of this, right?
Not on my watch, ma'am.
2,500 minutes for $39.99 from Sprint PCS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no year. And by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Some of the beautiful scenery in and around Southern California. Rodney Harrison back on the field. Eddie Kinnison, however, with the shot to the head, is questionable for a return. On first down, Greasy still has the football, flips it out here, and that's complete to Haight out of the backfield, and Haight to about the 35-yard line, and enough for a first down. Here is the Charger defense. Marcellus Wiley and Rayleigh Johnson, the ends. Carson and Perella are the tackles.
Look at the Charger linebackers. When you play San Diego, you always got to know, where's Junior?
And at the corners, Ryan McNeil leading the league in interceptions with 5. Tay Cody starts for the injured Alex Molden at left cornerback. Mike Anderson with a big hole on the left side. 45 field. Down at the 40-yard line. A 24-yard pickup and a Denver first down.
This is one way you determine if your team is ready to play, or you find out if your team is ready to play. Are they going to be physical? And the offensive line, they come out, they do a good job. They block the San Diego defensive front, and they allow Mike Anderson to get out and make a big run. But that's something they did not see last week against the Seattle Seahawks. They got pushed around up front, couldn't run the football.
Anderson again, and Anderson escapes the charge of John Perella to gain about a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, see, when you're trying to block John Perella, you got to do it twice, because you might knock him to the ground, but he's going to get back up and still be in the play. Watch number 97 on the inside. There he comes across the field. Doesn't get blocked real well that time, but he stayed in this league and continues to play for the San Diego Chargers because he is cheap. Works hard all the time.
on 2nd and 9. Greasy runs right into trouble at midfield. Marcellus Wiley came in from the far side. That is his 4th sack of the year.
Well, that's pretty good dance Marcellus had there. But when you're playing the Broncos, if you're playing the outside of a formation, this time Marcellus Wiley coming outside, do not follow the play. Always go up the field and protect against the quarterback, keeping the football to throw. And that's what Marcellus Wiley did. When we look at that dance, yeah. You know, it's like a sack for a lineman. It's like a touchdown pass for a quarterback. So it is a time to get excited.
3rd and 19. Straight drop for Greasy. Steps up, throws across the middle, and that's complete. Wayne Carswell, the tight end, and he's out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, let's see what happens here. This is in a position where you might go for it.
And Jason Elam, no, is going to stay on the sidelines, and Tom Ruin is going to punt it away.
Now, early in the game, so Mike Shanahan doing what I think is the right thing. Play field position early.
So Tim Dwight dropping back into coverage. Ruin will aim this one for a sideline.
No, he didn't.
No, straight up. And straight down. And it's going to bounce sideways and go out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. All right, I'll admit it. Tom Ruin had a better idea. 7-0, San Diego.
Do that? Nah, they usually go for 2.
Play Cash is King at Burger King for your chance to become a millionaire.
First class, baby. Hey, how much for that dog? What's up, dog? Who wants to marry a millionaire? This is not what I had planned.
Play Cash is King at Burger King. Peel for a chance at great prizes. From hot, tasty food like a Whopper or crust sandwich to a cool $1,000,000. With a 1 in 3 chance to win, the odds are on your side.
Pardon me, would you happen to have some extra ketchup?
CBS Tuesday. Attorney Nick Fallon never walked away from a case, but this case could be the one.
I did what you asked of me. I can't do anything else.
The Guardian, CBS Tuesday.
Wednesday, the amazing race goes to India, where the culture and crush of humanity could spell disaster for American teams.
You lied to me!
All new episodes, CBS Wednesday.
We remind you, you can log on to NFL.com and read what Michael Vick, Steve McNair, Jeff Garcia Jr., Seau, and other NFL stars had to say in their own words. NFL.com, AOL keyword is NFL.com. First down for the Chargers in their own territory, and Tomlinson squeezes through for about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, Greg, we had a chance to talk to Doug Flutie on Friday, and this is what, look at the people near the line of scrimmage for the Denver Broncos. And he says, boy, you know, I don't know how Denver's going to play us, and I offered my opinion, and, well, we know how they're going to play. They are going to be aggressive. They're going to challenge San Diego to throw the football outside and down the field to win this game today.
Tim Dwight in motion to the far side of the field. Flutie pump fakes, pulls it down, and puts it down, and he's going to run it now. Cuts it back, 15, forward to the 17-yard line, and he's close to a first down.
Well, if you're a Doug Flutie fan, you've seen this about 4,000 or 5,000 times in your life. But again, Chargers trying to go deep, looking for the big play. It's not there, and Flutie does a really good job of scrambling and finding enough yards for a first down. And what was Trevor Price's exact words for Doug Flutie? He goes, man, that guy scrambles. It's like being in an elevator with 3 chickens. I couldn't quite catch on to what he was saying, but he was basically saying Doug Flutie's tough to get a hold of.
The pitch to Tomlinson, trying to cut it back, and he's dragged down for a loss. Al Wilson, middle linebacker, number 56, a loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Now, we talk about the strategy of teams. What are they going to do for the game? And I had a chance to talk to Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. He says, think about it this way. He goes, Denver last week is not aggressive. They don't play well on defense. So what's the easiest way to get your team to be excited and be aggressive? Well, that's to make your defensive players blitz. Crowd the line of scrimmage. Go for it. Make them get some emotion by the plays you call, and that's what's happened for this Denver defense.
Flutie over the middle has his tight end, Freddie Jones, and Jones has enough for a first down.
Well, this time they do not come with pressure on Doug Flutie. Look at that window he has to throw into. Nobody in his face, and Freddie Jones wide open across the middle. You know, Denver, they might be better off pressuring the offense at all times, because that zone, you could see a lot of space. And when you're playing a good offensive team, they will find those open holes and make easy completions.
Flutie still with the football. Going to throw it deep and overthrows everybody. His intended receiver, Curtis Conway, cut the route short.
Well, you know why he cut it short? Because he made about 5 moves on Deltha O'Neal, and Deltha O'Neal was just like going, huh, yeah, sure. I'll just wait. You're coming back out. See, Deltha O'Neal knows he has somebody on the inside helping him, so don't go for the fakes inside. And finally, Curtis Conway just gives up.
Deltha O'Neal in his 2nd year, first-round draft pick a year ago.
You like the way I gave it some, like some hip stuff? Yeah.
Like
that? Okay.
Trevor Price jumped. The give is to Fletcher, and Fletcher across the 35 to the 37 as penalty markers fly.
Now, Greg, you know what I'm going to say. See, it takes really a veteran quarterback to take advantage of aggressive players on the other side, and the snap count not used enough in this league, and Doug Flutie used it there.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Bill Levy, our referee today.
And you know what? If you're a quarterback, let's say you're Doug Flutie today. Now, he's dropped back 3, 4, 5 times, and he's basically had almost every time moving around. So right away, man, this defensive line is aggressive. Take advantage of it. Make them check, get that quick start. Make them know you're going to do some hard counts.
2nd and 5. Tomlinson left side for a couple. LaDainian Tomlinson, as we said, the 2nd leading rusher in the NFL, coming into the action today, and said he talked with Emmitt Smith before his first game and helped him prepare a lot mentally, as well as physically, for how you get into this game, and particularly mentioned the chiropractors and the massages. Those are always good.
Well, see, LaDainian, they played the Dallas Cowboys the 2nd game of the year, and he called him. He says, yeah, after that 36-carry first game, I said, yeah, where is that masseuse? I'll go give me a massage and try to feel better, because that's what this league is about. You are going to get beat up running back.
3rd and 3. Flutie throws the slant, and that's complete for a first down to Jeff Graham. Little sidearm number by Doug Flutie gets him the first down.
Yeah, he thinks it's funny. Yep, that was
down there.
That was my off-speed slinging shot, whatever. And Doug Flutie, well, listen, when you're 5 foot, I don't know, what's he listed at? 5'10", 5'11". You got to find ways to get the ball down the field. Even if you're 6'5", you're still going to have to throw a lot of sidearm footballs in this league, because they're too big. You got to throw it around some of these defenders.
Line of scrimmage, the 48-yard line. The pitch. Tomlinson looking for a way to cut it back and gets it back to about the line of scrimmage.
So many people talk about trying to compare LaDainian Tomlinson. Who does he remind you of? Some of the Denver players thought, Barry Sanders. And I went, wow. But people here say one word that comes up, and that's Thurman Thomas. Or 2 words, Thurman Thomas. 1, 2.
Well, you could say it real quick. It's a Thurman Thomas.
Yeah, but that's who he reminds me of. Some of the moves, some of the the way he walks, and even the way he runs the football reminds me of Thurman Thomas.
Here comes Tomlinson again, and dragged down from behind by Bertrand Berry, defensive end.
Well, what about LaDainian's earrings, though, Greg? We met him on Friday. He comes in. He's got a pair of earrings on, and they are impressive. And I say, did you have those earrings when you were down at Texas Christian University? And he said what?
He kind of shocked us. He said yes. But they're the cubic zirconium type.
Yes.
At least then.
And he doesn't wear them during the game. Good for you. Yeah. I thought he might have them on, but...
Well,
yeah.
He learned a lesson, too. He lost a pair at one point.
That would make me take them off during the game, too.
10. Fletcher has replaced Tomlinson in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Flutie gets rid of it down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. Tim Dwight covered by O'Neal.
Well, really, San Diego had exactly what they wanted that time. Everybody's got single coverage down the field, and I think Doug Flutie misjudges this. Here comes the two blitzers. Look at Fletcher, goes across, picks it up. Flutie could have stepped up and thrown the football down the field to one of three guys. I think he didn't think they were going to get over there and pick it up, so he gets rid of it too quick.
So once again, Bennett on to kick it to Delpha O'Neal. O'Neal, fair catch ball. And sliding to the turf, makes the catch at the Denver 13-yard line. 38-yard punt and no return. Delpha O'Neal preventing this one from going any deeper into his own territory.
Saturn is working to keep our economy strong in jobs, in commerce, and in spirit. As part of that effort, we're providing interest-free financing on every new coupe, sedan, and wagon we make. Come visit your Saturn retailer and keep America rolling.
Reviewing our last fiscal year, the numbers from January were slightly better than the numbers from February. However, the numbers in January were identical to the numbers in March. The numbers in April were slightly lower than the numbers in March, but identical.
Like playing games? Come to Buy, where you can play the latest video games and try out a lot of other cool stuff. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
Let's belt it out for your Pittsburgh Steelers!
I don't care what stadium you work for, all right? If you want to write a check for who let the dogs out, I'm still going to need to see some ID.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of cash or checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Universal Pictures K-Pax. This fall, celebrate the possibilities. Kevin Spacey and Jeff Bridges. And by Pizza Hut, where every week this fall you can get one of our delicious pizzas for an unbelievable price.
We welcome you back, Diego. Mark Banker's defense back out on the field. The new defensive coordinator for the Chargers. Anderson and Haight in the backfield. That's Rod Smith in motion. He gives to Anderson. Anderson with room to run on the right side, and he gets it out over the 15 to about the 18-yard line. Rodney Harrison with the stop. Let's check in with Arnold.
Greg, you know, speeches by teammates are about as welcome as losses in the playoffs, but for the first time in his 7-year career, Rod Smith stood up in front of his teammates on Monday and gave them a piece of his mind. He said the loss to Seattle was so embarrassing to him and the organization, and he said such effort would not be tolerated in the future. Because it was Smith who has emerged as the leader of this football team, it got the desired effect. Back to you.
All right, Armin. Rod Smith still looking for his first reception. There's movement up front, and penalty markers fly. Ray Lee Johnson was the one in on Brian Greasy. Let's see what the call is.
Ray Lee Johnson is quick.
Approach defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Too quick. This defense, it's funny, we're talking, Armin outlined all of the changes at the defensive coordinator position, and we talked with Mark Banker. First thing he said is, everyone's asking me how I feel this week. I'm thinking maybe I'm supposed to feel bad.
But that's the first question we asked him. He goes, how come everybody's asking me how I feel? And, well, we want to know if you're nervous, Coach. And
Anderson, room on the left side, breaks through and almost to the 30-yard line, out to the 29, and a first down. Marcellus Wiley caught him from behind after a 7-yard gain.
A couple things about just talking about Mark Banker, Greg. You know, I think the positive for the Chargers is going to be there's one guy now in charge. It's not, you know, somebody calling in, telling us what to do. There's somebody there every day to fix the problems, to tell the players what they got to do, and lead the coaches also. The thing he said I got to do, not worry about who we're playing, just get us lined up and give my players a chance to perform well.
Greasy throws far side, and there's Rod Smith with his first catch of the day to about the 36-yard line. He also said something else, talking about Mark Banker. That was very interesting. He said, on defense, we don't want to win the game on defense. We want to stay in the game.
Keep us in the game. I know. I said, boy, that's interesting. You know, that's really a good way to say it. You know, just keep your football team in the game and let your offense, you know, give them a chance to go out there and do well. When they do well, hopefully that'll be enough for us to win.
Reese with a 2nd and 2. Anderson getting close to the first down, and this will be very, very close. Orlando Ruff, number 56, the middle linebacker, with the stop.
Well, already today you can see the Denver Broncos more aggressive up front. The offensive line firing off the football, and I'm worked on that quite a bit in those pads on Wednesday and Thursday. And, you know, and you think, well, come on, don't all NFL teams wear pads? Well, the Broncos are one of these teams that, heck, when they're winning, they never put pads on. They don't even put their helmets on Fridays. They just go out in their baseball hats and have a nice leisure day and get their assignments ready and get ready for the weekend.
So for them to go into pads twice this week gives you an idea of Mike Shanahan's displeasure.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. But the players know it. They know they need to work. They got to change what they did last week. I think they took the Seattle Seahawks lightly. The Seahawks were not playing that well, and they beat them so many times in the past, they overlooked them.
Greasy going to go deep. Rod Smith. And it is intercepted by Ryan McNeil. McNeil down at the 18-yard line. His leading 6th interception of the season. Ryan McNeil came in with 5. He now has 6, much to the happiness of head coach Mike Riley.
He claims to be not human, a visitor from another planet.
I'd like to begin by asking you if you know why you're here.
Is the spaceman here yet?
Why did you want to come to our planet?
You're really from up there?
Do you have a family on K-Pax?
What's going on?
How could you know this? You don't believe him.
Your produce alone has been worth the trip.
K-Pax, rated PG-13, at theaters Friday.
You're at a stoplight. You're making a turn. You're pulling into traffic. There are a lot of reasons every 2002 Saturn L Series comes standard in airbags. Those are just a few. The Saturn L Series.
Get 0% APR financing on all Saturn models. For restrictions, see your retailer.
Beverly Hills.
If you want the best here, it'll cost you.
But the best pizza won't cost you. You can get a Pizza Hut pizza. The Big New Yorker pizza for just $8.99. An extra large pizza that's 16 inches of incredible deliciousness. Just $8.99. Smothered with tons of luscious cheese and loaded with your favorite topping.
Just $8.99.
Make it a supreme, a meat lovers, or any specialty pizza for 99 cents more. Oh, that's the deal. The Big New Yorker, $8.99.
Beautiful.
Everybody is nervous about germ warfare. I saw a squirrel spraying Lysol on his nuts.
Don't miss The Late Show, all this week on CBS.
Ryan McNeil pick number 6 of the year, and he had an awful lot of respect when we talked with him Friday for the man he's covering, Rod Smith.
Well, what's so impressive about this play is he's got him one-on-one around all over the field. The football is in the air. Now, you see 100 of these plays on the weekends in the NFL, and about one of them is intercepted. So Ryan McNeil, for the ball to be in the air, as they call the moment of truth, and still get the interception, that is terrific.
LaDainian Tomlinson left side now to the 23-yard line. Meanwhile, for Brian Greasy, that's 7 interceptions in his last 74 throws now.
Well, you know, Greg, to go back to that play, defensive backs can get in that position all the time. But to make the interception, to make the play, and I forgot who it was, said to me, a defensive back coach, you know, the moment of truth is when you're in position, you look up and you're running, can you still make it? Well, we know history tells us Ryan McNeil can make those.
Tomlinson picked up 6, a 2nd and 4 from the 24. Flutie as his man. That's Jeff Graham. And Graham up to the 35, and that's a first down.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff on that play for the San Diego Chargers. You know, the one thing that everybody's finding out in the AFC West, it's a different Chargers team for a couple of reasons. One, Doug Flutie's the quarterback, and then what they do with Norv Turner on offense, it always gives them a chance to make the plays.
We've come to the end of the first quarter, and a most successful one it is for the San Diego Chargers. Ronnie Jenkins' kickoff return at the start of the game. The lone tally on the scoreboard, 7-0 San Diego. We're back to Qualcomm Stadium after this.
Choose road. Validating tires.
BF Goodrich tires with traction advantage.
Approved.
For control you can feel and see. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
A chunky quarterback moment. Donovan McNabb's mom served him Campbell's chunky beef with country vegetables. Now with more lean beef. Filled up right by beefy chunky soup, Donovan took on beefy linebackers.
Hey, it's Dark Mountain Roast Coffee. Real robust, full-body coffee. Always fresh. As good or better than any coffee house. And it costs less. Dark Mountain Roast Coffee, only at 7-Eleven. Get it while it's hot. It's always hot. Yeah. Oh, Evan.
Hi, I'm Susan McGinnis, news anchor for CBS Market Watch. CBS Market Watch is not only the place I work, it's also the resource I use and trust when I'm managing my own finances. It's where you should go first for the best information on mutual funds, retirement, real estate, taxes. The ING personal finance section gives you the best advice from some of the industry's most seasoned financial columnists. More than 100 journalists worldwide reporting for you. CBS Market Watch is the #1 source for financial news. It's more than just news. It's news you can use.
Make no mistake, Survivor is back. The rugged African terrain is taking its toll.
I'd rather die right now than deal with this pain.
Barbie went down in Africa. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, hungry lions are on the prowl.
This is probably going to happen every night.
All new Survivor Africa, CBS Thursday.
We remind you, the Nextel halftime report coming up. Join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry. Scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news. And see Update America on Guard, all coming up on the Nextel halftime report. On first down, Tomlinson breaking tackle, bouncing off tacklers out to the 40-yard line before Romanowski cuts him down after a gain of 5.
Well, you know, there's a couple things. Is San Diego running the football this year, and just like that play there, Greg, you know, you don't see the big hole. You don't think, okay, there's not much there, and it's 2nd and 5. And what they've done, they've taught this offensive line to be aggressive, to be physical, and then you got a runner who runs up in there hard, gets offensive linemen motivated to do their job.
Tomlinson, 8 carries, 18 yards so far. He'll keep it on the ground again, trying the left side.
And as I've watched him play today, look at that. He snuck in there and got about 2 or 3 extra yards I didn't think he was going to get, but you hear all the comparisons, and we watched the films and just talking to him, looking at his body, shuffling along the line, nice, just has tremendous speed. This is Thurman Thomas reincarnated. It really is. And think about it. John Butler, the new general manager here, he was in Buffalo all those years. He saw Thurman Thomas, who's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He goes, there's John Butler. He says, hey, let me see if I can find a guy like him, and I think he found him.
No one knows better than John. On 3rd and 2, Flutie flares it out. That's Fletcher. First down yardage. Across midfield and out of bounds near the 45-yard line of the Denver Broncos. That's first down.
Oh, this is really just a well-coordinated offense. As I was saying earlier, Mike Shanahan told us last night, maybe one of the biggest problems now with San Diego is their offense. They got such a good system. They're going to run the football. They're going to protect their quarterback. They're going to look for big plays in the passing game. Now, you're the Denver Broncos. You know, that's a whole different element to deal with than when you played the Chargers.
This is Doug Flutie's first ever start against the Denver Broncos. 5 wide receivers now with Fletcher on the far side. The pass down the sideline, that is complete and out of bounds to Jeff Graham. What a well-thrown ball by Doug Flutie.
Yes, it was. Good adjustment by Jeff Graham, and 5 wide receivers, first down. The Broncos line up. They do a good job. Everybody finds their guy, but look at all the space that Deltha O'Neal has to cover to keep up with the wide receiver. You get a veteran quarterback, a good wide receiver, and the whole field basically to work with. That's too tough of a job for the corner.
Now Graham comes off the field. Dwight is off the field. Fletcher is off the field.
Well, that's another pattern. A lot of different people shifting. You see it. Motion.
Here's Tomlinson. Couldn't quite dodge the hand stuck out there by Eric Brown, who made the tackle.
You know, to make plays in the NFL, sometimes you've almost got to trick the defense, deceive them. So that's why you put guys in motion, why you have shifting of players from one side to the other. And see, that time, LaDainian faked himself out. He couldn't figure out which way that body was going, and Eric Brown made a very important tackle by the shoes. Or shoelaces, that's what it is, right?
It's a shoelace tackle.
Shoelace tackle.
Or is it a shoelace catch? Fletcher back into the game. Flutie throws over the middle, has his man inside the 20. Loose football. And it belongs to the Broncos. Eric Davis covered the ball and gives the ball back to the Denver offense. 11:49 and the Broncos halt the San Diego Charge.
This is Will Burns. You've reached my cell phone. Leave me a message and I'll call you back.
Will, it's Gail. I can't believe you're not answering your phone. Look, get back here. The client changed their mind. They actually like the work. All we have to do is show the plans to one more group and the job is ours. Call me before it's too late.
With ordinary cell phones, you leave messages. But with Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio, you get right through.
On June 6, 1944, American and Allied forces landed on Normandy beaches in the name of freedom and liberty. This fall, Jeep joins HBO in honoring all the men and women who served in the Second World War. HBO presents Band of Brothers.
Hi, sir. Here's your pizza, and I gave the cheesy bread to your kids.
I don't have any kids.
Order Domino's cheesy bread with your pizza tonight. It's a delicious blend of mozzarella and cheddar cheeses. Call now. Get the door. It's Domino's. Now, for a limited time, get a full order of Domino's delicious cheesy bread free when you purchase a large one-topping pizza for just $9.99. That's right, free cheesy bread. Call now.
CBS Thursday. You've got to watch. How blood got on these walls is nothing compared to what's behind them.
I got a hollow section.
All new CSI. Then, a nuclear bomb has just been stolen.
We have a serious situation here.
Now the agency must find it.
Where's the bomb?
Before it gets into the wrong hands. All new agency after CSI. CBS Thursday.
Welcome back to San Diego, where Coach Mike Riley challenged the call on the field. Let's take a look.
It's Terrell Fletcher. He gets hit. The football absolutely comes out on the hit. The question is Is the knee down? The ball is out. John Mobley and Eric Davis doing the hitting.
After reviewing the play, the ball was rolling loose in the runner's hand before his knee hit the ground. Therefore, it is a fumble. San Diego has charged their first timeout.
So the Chargers lose a timeout. They are down to 2. And the defense comes onto the field.
And that was a good call. It was a fumble. You know, you see it so many times when a runner with the football, when they lose their balance somewhat and they're stumbling, there's that little moment where the protection of the football is not their main point of focus. It's about regaining their balance, and then when they get hit, that football pops out.
I was going to say the Broncos defense catches a break, but what they did was make themselves a break. Greasy. A lot of time over the middle to about the 20-yard line, and dragged down is Eddie Kinnison, who is back into the lineup. 4-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 6. And Junior Seau made the hit on Kinnison.
Hey, look at Brian Greasy's stats. 4 for 8 for 35 yards, 1 interception. Yeah, Junior Seau, when you play the Broncos offense, they do a lot of short crossing routes. So he knows that he's going to get a couple of those today where he's going to have a chance to really hit the wide receiver.
Quick pass out here to Rod Smith, and Smith just over the 25. Appears to be close to a first down, but short.
Greg, you were talking earlier. We talked to Ryan McNeil, a corner for the Chargers, and he just said about Rod Smith, if he goes inside, he catches in traffic, he's a good blocker. But the word you said, unorthodox. You know, he's not the prettiest wide receiver. He just gets it done and just overlooked when you talk about excellent wide receivers in the NFL.
3rd and 2. Not going to get it done. .37, Rodney Harrison, leading a few cheers down there.
Junior Seau loves the crowd around the center. When you watch the Chargers, he's always up in that gap trying to confuse the offense. Who's going to block him? And that time, the Broncos cannot get enough blockers in front of the runner.
Tim Dwight stands back at his own 25-yard line for Tom Ruin's kick. It's a wobbling kick. 40, up the sideline and knocked out of bounds near midfield. Keith Burns, the man who knocked him out of bounds. It'll be good field position when we come back.
Play Cash is King at Burger King for your chance to become a millionaire.
First class, baby. Hey, how much for that dog? What's up, dog? Who wants to marry a millionaire? This is not what I had planned.
Play Cash is King at Burger King. Peel for a chance at great prizes. From hot, tasty food like a Whopper or Crook sandwich to a cool $1,000,000. With a 1 in 3 chance to win, the odds are on your side.
Pardon me, would you happen to have some extra ketchup?
Rolaids announces unbeatable taste. 5 great ways to spell fast relief. And now taste tests show even Tums can't beat Rolaids. In mint or fruit flavors, what a great tasting way to spell relief. Rolaids.
On June 6, 1944, American and Allied forces landed on Normandy beaches in the name of freedom and liberty. This fall, Jeep joins HBO in honoring all the men and women who served in the Second World War. HBO presents Band of Brothers.
A chunky quarterback moment. Donovan McNabb's mom served him Campbell's chunky beef with country vegetables. Now with more lean beef. Filled up right by beefy chunky soup, Donovan took on beefy linebackers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Jeep, makers of Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, and the all-new Jeep Liberty. Rolaids, R-O-L-A-I-D-S Relief, and by Smirnoff Ice, Intelligent Nightline.
There is something to be said for meditation. first down for San Diego, their own 48-yard line. Flutie keeps, going to go complete inside the 35-yard line to Jeff Graham. And another well-executed play by Flutie in the San Diego offense.
Well, I've seen these plays, Greg. I don't mean to laugh about it, but I've seen them so much from Norv Turner over the years, and they continue to be the core what he teaches. And that time, the inside receiver goes down the field, opens it up. The second receiver becomes behind him, wide open, good protection, and a good throw from the quarterback.
Jeff Graham, 4 receptions, 60 yards on the day. And now with Tomlinson, changing direction. Oh, just inside. Here comes a penalty marker down.
Well, see what I said earlier about Tomlinson. Let me change that. He's got Thurman Thomas and a little Barry Sanders in him there, so.
Holding penalty is going to bring this one back.
That was a really good-looking run, and you know what it does? Even like Doug Flutie, he's given this team hope and offense, defense. They know he knows how to play quarterback.
Holding on the tight end. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Well, Trevor Price told us that he thinks that LaDainian Tomlinson is the next Barry Sanders.
Let's get a look at it as he comes through. Just the thing about shuffling your feet and oh man, that was sweet. It really was. And to be able to do it is, can you keep going forward? Can you make the plays after you make the fake? And he does that. The point I was trying to make before, that Tomlinson just gives the offensive linemen so much hope. They know if I make even a half-decent block, he'll take advantage of it.
Quick pass this side, complete to Graham, out of bounds, just shy of the 30-yard line. Run out of bounds by Denard Walker, and you see Doug Flutie. As we talked to Doug Flutie the other day, he said, and understandably, his first choice during the offseason was to stay in Buffalo. He knew the guys and so on and so forth, but he decided leaving was the best thing for him.
Well, and then after he came out here, after he didn't know anything about, Mike Riley, Norv Turner, and he met them all. He went, oh boy, this is pretty good. They know what they're doing, and he's walked in to the perfect situation, I think, for him too.
Flutie with 6 straight completions. Here's a reverse, here's a double reverse, and here comes Curtis Conway. Conway inside the 20, to the 15, to the 10, out of bounds at about the 2.
Well, I know when I do a game with Norv Turner and Mike Riley, they believe in the same thing. On offense, you're going to see downfield throwing, good running, and reverses. But this is the first time I've seen the double reverse. And it really fools the Broncos defense, and good running by Curtis Conway. And look at the players down the field. Offensive lineman Vaughn Parker down on the 2-yard line with 30-some yards to make a block. Best red zone offense in the National Football League right here.
On first and goal, the give, Tomlinson. And he stopped at about the 3.5.
I'm sorry, Greg, but anytime you hear us say, or any announcer in any game say they're good in the red zone, it means one thing right away. It means they can run the football. Because you cannot be great or really good in the red zone on offense. You can line up and just run the football with success.
Loss of 2 on that play makes the line of scrimmage the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
Well, with Flutie in a shotgun, you always got to be alert for the draws.
Flutie spreads the field, and he's going to keep it. And is wrestled down at about the 3.5 or 3-yard line. Kavika Pittman on his back.
Yeah, when they lined up, the first time Doug Flutie got in the shotgun formation today with 5 wide receivers, he could have ran a draw play and got about 50 yards because nobody was watching him. That time, the Broncos do a good job. They have an extra guy in there just for that reason. And it stopped the play.
So back to the original line of scrimmage, about the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal. Tomlinson and McCrary up in the backfield behind Flutie. Flutie flips it out, and it is blocked and incomplete Mobley had the tip, and that was Romanowski diving for the loose football.
Well, Greg, we have to show everybody this play, and Doug Flutie knows it. Watch as he comes through. He's going to try to throw it to the outside to LaDainian Tomlinson. Nobody's there to cover him. It's a walk-in touchdown, and the ball is tipped.
So Wade Ritchie leading the NFL in scoring coming into this game with 48 points. We'll try this one from 21 yards out. And it's good. Just a bit over 6.5 to play here in the first half. Curtis Conway says, get behind us, Chargers. We're up 10.
Look at this. Could make a lot of lira selling these in New York.
Yeah, look at these prices. These guys don't know what they got.
They're clueless. Try asking the old guy if he can handle a production of 10,000 of these.
No problem, senora.
What's it say?
They have 2 million units warehoused in New Jersey.
New Jersey?
New Jersey. New Jersey.
The right infrastructure can take your business anywhere, even New Jersey.
Bye-bye.
I think this photo paper is just what you're looking for. Wow, great price.
David White, 3-time Employee of the Month, Dan.
He has a natural ability to match a customer's needs with his budget. Really a go-to guy in these situations.
In and out. Good. Keep the victim calm. And 1, and 2, and 3.
Okay, there you go. That's over 100 channels, sports, news, digital music. Installation's free, and it's only $31.99 a month.
Just $31.99 a month gets you over 100 channels of DirecTV programming. Right now with free professional installation.
So it was the digital music that... Yeah.
Good value.
Price is right. What's the resolution?
2400 DPI.
Oh, brilliant display of team chemistry, Dan.
Yeah, Charles Rosen and Matt Herman not only have a command of the products, they anticipate exactly where the other's going to be on the floor.
Access NFL.com now and America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
It is here that you will witness a tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
8-play drive, good for half the football field in just under 3.5 minutes, and Wade Ritchie's field goal helped considerably with the double reverse, Curtis Conway's run. Chris Cole deep will run this one out from the goal line. 15, 20, down at the 21-yard line. Robert Carswell with the tackle, and we'll take the moment to remind you tonight on the CBS Sunday movie, One Moment Changed Her Life. This movie will change yours. CBS presents an unprecedented all-star cast in an inspirational true story, Jennifer, tonight on CBS. Look at the numbers, Greasy and Flutie.
Well, Flutie's could have been a lot better, that's for sure. That last pass could have been a walk-in touchdown, and the Denver Broncos, they got to take a big breath here and realize that they're lucky to only be down 10-0.
Greasy throws it back the other way, and that goes nowhere. Look who's there. Orlando Rupp, the middle line, right on Mike Anderson.
Well, it's a good idea by the Broncos trying to get Brian Greasy running to the right, throw a screen pass back across the field, but Orlando Rupp saw it right away, went sprinting, and got to Mike Anderson before his blockers could spot him and get in his way.
The second straight week, the Broncos have begun in a hole. They trailed by 17 at Seattle last Sunday. Greasy looking at 2nd and 17, and they'll keep it on the ground, right side, out to about the 18 or 19-yard line as Anderson, and Gerald Dixon is there with the tackle.
Boy, Rodney Harrison. Craig, it's the last time I was here in San Diego was for the Super Bowl, and that was, what, 4 or 5 years ago? I don't know how many years ago.
I was here with you. Thanks for remembering.
Well, you were in a different spot, though, so I didn't care about you then. You weren't up in the booth with me. Did they move the field farther away? Or I just can't see as well. But Rodney Harrison, what I was going to say, he is everywhere. He is one terrific hitter and tackler.
Here comes Rod Smith, and Smith at the 22-yard line. Marcellus Wiley makes the stop for a 1-yard gain, and we have a Charger down on the field at the 15-yard line. And that's Junior Seau.
3 yards. Brings up 4th and 9.
Well, that kind of shows you what the Denver Broncos were thinking. Look, the crowd's against us, the defense. The Charger defense is flying around. It's 3rd and long. They go with a reverse or a run just to kind of get out, don't make a mistake, and let's wait for our next opportunity to try to score some points.
Again, Ruin to kick, White to receive. Backs White up to about the 26. There's a marker down on the far side of the field, and White is down at about the 35.
Brought down by Keith Burns of the Broncos.
Now let's check the marker.
52-yard punt.
Face mask.
9 yards on the return. There was a penalty flag.
Said Bill saying, settle down, give it to him again. First the foul, face mask.
Penalties just killed the Denver Broncos a week ago against Seattle. They were penalized 12 times for a total of 148 yards against the Seahawks.
And the Chargers say, back them up.
Personal foul. Number 52, face mask. Kicking team during the kick. Enforcement is the previous spot. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat 4th down.
Special teams ace Ian Gold. That number that we just gave you, the 2nd most penalty yards in Denver history.
Woo. Let's see. So, yeah, let's figure out why the coaches for Denver were really upset. They weren't physical, didn't tackle well, didn't run the football, and then you have the 2nd most penalty yards in your franchise history. I'm catching on.
And it's tough to win a game that way anyway. Now you're playing on the road.
No, it's just, that's so many negatives. That's a lot to overcome in just 1 week of practice. And your team, and then you come in here and play a team that's well organized now. Not the team that you faced the past few years, and the crowd's behind them.
Unless Ruin gets off a mammoth punt here, the Chargers will end up with better field position. Wobbly kick. Bounces just before midfield, gathers it in. Looking for running room. Finds a little bit and gets inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Lee Woodall makes the stop after the 11-yard return, and the Chargers go back to work on offense.
Change the face of digital photography with the Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
Whoa, did you bake this bread? Do you have any idea where it came from?
No.
So, what do you think? Don't you just love the smell of fresh baked cardboard? Subway bakes their bread fresh every day, right, Nancy?
Right, Jim. Subway's got 4 new delicious, like a tasty Southwest chicken, all on fresh baked gourmet bread.
Once you go fresh, you never go back.
Test your football knowledge at Subway. Just upsize your fresh value meal and get one of our 2 32-ounce gridiron trivia cups.
Monday, can Doug survive a weekend without television? I'll just watch TV. Hey, look what's on. Flowers! The King of Queens. Then, when you develop film for your friends, you never know when will be exposed.
Ah, sweet mothers are naked.
Yes, dear. Next, Ray's mom thinks it's art, but you'll have to judge for yourself.
It's a gift to you and Raymond.
And is a con artist scamming Becker?
The guy's a hustler. He just needs money for booze or, whatever else he's strung out on.
All new comedy, CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world, and by Subway. Fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh.
And there's another thing I'll never do.
Well, Greg, I have to admit, that is something I'm not going to do either. Because, see, I can only think of one thing when I'm up there. Oh, my gosh, if I crash, I'm in big trouble.
I could never hear my thinking above my own screaming. Flutie and company starting. In good field position, Flutie rolls and throws, and it's broken up on the far side of the field. Delpha O'Neal was the intended pass for Jeff Graham.
Oh, boy. Couple things. We got to look at this play because Delpha O'Neal, Doug Flutie gets outside the pocket, but Delpha O'Neal double move by Graham down the field. He stays with him and then gets back in position to knock the football down without getting past interference. And when you play the Chargers now, and we talked to Delpha O'Neal last night, he said, hey, they do those double moves. You got to be ready for them, and you just can't get, if you get fooled, it's going to be a touchdown for the Chargers.
Second straight possession, the Chargers begin their drive in Denver territory. Flutie over the middle, wide open is Freddie Jones, the tight end, and has enough for a first down inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. 11 yards in the first down. Well, Mike Riley has to be really pleased with the way his team has come out today.
Well, he has to be. Just the, you know, Mike Riley's just got to be so excited to watch his team. Of course, the energy, the fans being in the stands, but most of all, he's watching the quarterback run his team, lead his team, be a good example, and not make a lot of turnovers.
Here's Terrell Fletcher. Fletcher to the 30, and a penalty marker comes flying from up ahead of the action.
Well, the Chargers are executing so many good plays on offense, and they're getting nothing out of it.
This one will back the Chargers up. It's a hold.
Couple penalties, couple missed opportunities, a fumble inside the opponent's 20-yard line.
Holding. Number 88 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
You know, with all the penalties that the Broncos scored last week, you got to figure Mike Shanahan's heart must just come right up to his throat every time a marker hits the ground today.
That's right. Every time he sees a yellow flag, he just says, oh, no, what did we do now?
And we've seen Mike a lot cheerier than he was when he arrived last night.
Well, that's right. You know, there's so many things. This game is so emotional, and you put so much work into it. And Mike Shanahan, he knows he's got a good football team. For him to watch what it did last week, it's got to be extremely upsetting to him, and he's got to wonder, well, what did I do wrong? Where did we go wrong in our preparation? And what it does is set your team back. How long is it going to take until they get it back?
First and 20. Quick drop, quick pass, near side to Graham. And you know, we're talking with Mike Shanahan, we're wondering if this is going to be an uncertain defense with all the changes for the San Diego Chargers, and he says, you know, this Charger defense never changes at all. Their front seven controls the line of scrimmage, period.
That's right. It's a lot of the same players he's faced for many years here, and he said it evolves around Junior Seau and Rodney Harrison. He says those two, they're the leaders, they're physical, they're emotional, and they are the two big reasons why the Chargers defense can be so good.
The pass has been ruled incomplete. The second down and 20. Now, pretty balanced attack for San Diego. We're having trouble trying to figure out where the ball is spotted here. So here we go, second and 20. Fletcher with Flutie in the backfield. Flutie steps up, wide open, and he missed him at the 25-yard line. Is Freddie Jones, the tight end.
There's another opportunity, and boy, Doug Flutie's upset. He should be, because the Chargers, they clear out the outside and watch Freddie Jones. Nobody around him. They have a receiver short that drew some of the defensive players up. The wide receiver, Curtis Conway, went deep. Nobody in between. Freddie Jones found that area of the field, and Doug Flutie missed the pass.
Flutie 9 out of 16, but just 1 out of his last 5 now as he looks at 3rd and long from the 43-yard line.
In a football game, no matter how much you dominate it, you're only going to get so many chances to make those plays, and the Chargers have missed quite a few of them.
Flutie with all kinds of time. Throws, and that's complete to Fletcher out of the backfield inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. Pittman and Romanowski with the stop after a 9-yard gain, and onto the field now comes the field goal unit. And Denver calls the timeout. Denver uses its first timeout of the day.
Let's go by the last play. Doug Flutie scrambling. Sees Fletcher underneath. That's a good job. It gets you a chance for the field goal. Watch Curtis Conway, number 80. Down the field, says, I'm open, but you know what? No, you're not.
No, he isn't.
You're not open because they have seen Doug Flutie run to the right, so they let you go because they know he can't throw it to you. But, you know, here it is, Greg. What's he going to say? And he goes to the sideline. Oh, Doug.
I was open.
I was wide open.
Did you ever have anybody in the huddle who just wore you out? Just say, I'm open all the time.
Sure, they all do. So that's what you learn as a quarterback. Don't ask them. Don't tell me. We'll see it on Monday when we watch the film.
51-yard attempt by Wade Ritchie. That's going to be long enough and straight enough. And you know, that was about a 60-yard goal when all was said and done.
Work to the beat of a better framing nailer. Quarter cable. Professional power tool.
The day has ended. Amber blends to twilight blue. The world softens a bit around the edges. You release all the cares of the day, and nothing else in the world matters. Bella Sera Pinot Grigio. It's going to be a blue evening, or as they say in Italian, it's going to be a bella sera.
The 13-0 San Diego lead in what has been a hard-fought battle, and the Broncos came out charged up, but Ronnie Jenkins' touchdown on the opening kickoff took care of that enthusiasm. And Doug Flutie and company have pretty much kept control as the Chargers have grabbed the 13-0 lead. Here is Chris Cole. Cole, 25, 30, out to the 35, 36-yard line before he's brought down, and back onto the field comes Brian Greasy. Let's go down to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Greg, Junior Seau just returned from a short trip to the locker room where I'm told on the Charger sideline he was suffering from mild cramps. He seems to be all right. He's on the field now. Back to you.
Okay, Armin, as we were talking with various members of the Broncos about, maybe the uncertainty of that San Diego defense, he said, well, they just do whatever Junior Seau tells them to do out there. Olandis Gary is into the game for the first time for the Broncos. He's the setback behind Greasy. Greasy over the middle. Fine pass just shy of midfield to number 88, Desmond Clark. And we reach the 2-minute warning. 13-yard gain. Greasy, maybe his best pass of the day.
When you put passion into everything you build,
It's hard to just let go.
It's okay. We're all going to good homes.
When Max's students wanted to pose nude in a magazine, he was okay.
You have the right to choose.
But when he thinks his daughter's doing it, an all-new Max Bickford CBS Tonight.
Well, we aren't the only ones that had the questions. All the papers here in San Diego wondering how that San Diego defense would respond against Denver's offense. And there you see Denver's accomplishments on offense today, and it doesn't measure up to much.
Well,
so
look
far.
at it. The big thing, 6 drives, 3 times, 3 and out. That means the San Diego Chargers offense getting it back quickly, good field position.
Denver has yet to reach the San Diego 35-yard line today. That pass is complete inside the 45-yard line to Dwayne Carswell. Clock continues to move. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining.
Confidence is a big factor in the outcome of games. So for the Broncos to drive this down, to get any points, will make them feel good at halftime.
Greasy to throw it away. He wasn't outside. And did he have a receiver out here? There's the marker.
No, that's a bad call. It's a bad call. Yeah, he threw the football away, but he wasn't under great pressure. He was being pushed back. He threw it out of bounds. He was not going to get sacked.
Intentional grounding. Number 14 offense. 10-yard penalty. Loss of down, 2nd down.
You know, when you throw it away now, there's the fake. There is pressure coming. But when you throw it away now, you got to throw it away close to the receiver. And Brian Greasy could have thrown it close to the receiver. Rod Smith is on the sideline.
Meanwhile, Junior Seau has come off the field again, and he's been replaced by Sam Rogers, number 59. There's Junior on the sideline. You heard Armin say a moment ago that he was cramping up. So it's 3rd and long yardage now for Greasy and the Broncos. 1:36 to play in the first half. San Diego leads it by 13, and they have had opportunities for much more. Greasy this way. That's complete to Rod Smith, and he is out of bounds just shy of the 35-yard line. That'll be a 1st down. 17 yards.
Yeah, Mike Riley shaking his head, and I know what he's thinking, but Rod Smith did an excellent job of selling Tate Cody the fact that he was going to go deep. He doesn't. He pulls it up, and Brian Greasy with the perfect throw.
You saw the numbers there. 30 receptions for a 1st down. Leads the league. Rod Smith, some clutch performer. Quick slant, and that's complete inside the 30 to the 28 or 27 to Eddie Kennison. The clock continues to move, coming up on 1:20.
Yeah, plenty of time now. Now Denver's in control of the situation.
Greasy comes back this way, and that's complete inside the 20, and a nice catch by Rod Smith. And a timeout is called. That is the 2nd Denver timeout of the first half. 1:08 remaining, and we'll take the opportunity to remind you coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry, scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news, and a CBS News update, America on Guard, all coming up on the Nextel halftime report.
Yeah, I'm watching those throws to the sideline, Greg, and remember what Mike Shanahan said last night? Tate Cody is taking the place of Alex Molden at corner, and he says this Tate Cody, a rookie, I scouted him in college. He was at Florida. He goes, this guy's not afraid to make a play. And what he means is that situations like this, he's willing to take that gamble at the right time to intercept that ball and maybe run it back for a touchdown. And Brian Greasy, that last one was close. Got to be careful throwing to the sidelines against Tate Cody.
See, the Broncos' production on this drive has been better than their previous 5.
Well, they got to stay on the field long enough to at least make the Chargers defense to make it start thinking and to tire out some of the defensive linemen.
Greasy rolling, and he's going to keep it now. 15 out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Run out by Rogers Beckett.
Nice job by Brian Greasy. Even though he's fighting the shoulder, not been feeling good, and didn't practice this past Wednesday. Boy, when I asked him about it last night, the first thing he said, look, I'm not going to change the way I play. When I get a chance to run, I'm going to run. I'm going to hang in there, wait for the receivers to get open. And that's the only choice he has as a quarterback.
2nd and 5. Greasy throws. That's complete to Clark. And Clark down at about the 5-yard line. And timeout stops the clock at 51 seconds to play. You know, it's interesting, and you brought it up earlier, Phil, that when you're injured, it changes your week, because in addition to the preparation, as Brian Greasy told us, you have to show up at the complex even earlier for treatment.
I would think Brian Greasy this past week was showing up at the complex about 6:30 in the morning, getting treatment for about an hour, then doing all the things that a quarterback has to do. And the Broncos put a lot of information on their quarterback every week, so learning is that's taxing enough. But then to get healthy and ready to play a game, that is double work for a quarterback.
Greasy comes back onto the field. 51 seconds remaining. Denver is now out of timeouts. A 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. Greasy throws to the back of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Gerald Dixon, the man who came charging up the middle and was picked off by Olandis Gary.
Oh, what a job by Olandis Gary. Just giving Brian Greasy the time to throw it out of the back of the end zone. So, good blitz charges. Olandis Gary comes up and picked up Gerald Dixon.
2nd and goal.
You got Rod Smith up and changing the defense.
He's going to throw the fade this side to Clark, and it is caught for a touchdown. Tay Cody, the rookie, was defending.
Defending a big tight end and just used his size to get the catch. At the last second, the Chargers shifted their coverage. They double covered Rod Smith, then left Tay Cody against Desmond Clark, and you can see the hand fighting. The big guy wins the hand fighting, and that's Desmond Clark.
You're talking about relative sizes. Desmond Clark, 6'3", 255. Tay Cody, 5'9", 180. The extra point attempt by Jason Elam is good. And so with 41 seconds to play, nice drive engineered by Brian Greasy, and San Diego's lead is down to 13-7.
Don't worry, Bob engineered a lot of them too.
It was a Bob Greasy type drive.
But that was so clutch by the Chargers, their offense. It gets them going, and it'll pump some more life into the defense, which is playing very hard. But then you look at the Chargers, and there's got to be this thought: man, we dominated the whole first half, and we're only up 13-7.
Brian Greasy, remember, at one point was looking at a 3rd and 13 at his own 46, and Denver went 54 yards in the next 7 plays.
What do we hear every time when a team is playing the Broncos offense? What do they say? Anytime there's a play that has to be made, where's the football going? It's going to go to Rod Smith. 3rd and 13, throw it to. Just give me your guess. Who is it? Yeah, okay. Multiple choice.
Yeah. Rod Smith.
But it is the Rod. That's right. They're going to find their playmaker. They're going to put Rod Smith in situations so he can make the plays. They were trying to on the goal line. The Chargers finally said no, then they threw it to Desmond Clark.
Ronnie Jenkins returned the opening kickoff 88 yards for a touchdown. He is standing at his own 6-yard line. And this one is going to roll out of bounds.
Oh, that's a mistake. San Diego, 2 timeouts.
The 40-yard line by rule, first down. San Diego.
From their own 40 with 2 timeouts, now they can try to get some points.
Let's check in downstairs with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Greg, I've been able to get some more concrete information on Junior Seau. It's now described as a groin strain, and his return is up in the air. Back to you.
We look down at Junior Seau. Taking a seat at about midfield to watch these last 41 seconds unwind. Meanwhile, here comes Doug Flutie.
I thought I saw Junior Seau limping a little as he went off the field earlier.
Two timeouts remaining for the Chargers. Terrell Fletcher in the backfield. He gets the handoff straight up the middle to midfield and just into Denver territory. And the Chargers burn a timeout here and stop the clock with 33 seconds to play. Oh, Armin's going to talk with Mike Riley just as this half ends, and it'll be interesting to hear the coach's take on this first half because there's so many other things that could have gone San Diego's way and did not, and a team that looked totally in charge may very well go into the locker room with just a 6-point lead.
Yeah, but knowing Mike Riley, and we had a chance, it's the first time I ever met him, we met him Friday, Greg, I think he'll find the positive of what went on in the first half. But let's just, real quick, just off the top of my head, fumble inside the red zone, a sure touchdown pass that's knocked down one time, some missed open receivers, a couple penalties. That's quite a bit. You know, a lot of opportunities missed just for a first half. See, it's a good thing I got a big top of my head so I could pull all those things off of it.
From the shotgun on first down. Flutie, roll, quick pass. That's complete to Tim Dwight, and he is out of bounds and has enough for a first down at the 40.
You said it right earlier, Greg, that Tim Dwight, he is the fastest man in the NFL, and he is. It's like watching a video game. He scoots around so quick. There's no question, in warm-ups, he's the fastest guy we've ever seen, too.
Well, John Butler telling us about that deal that the Chargers made with the Atlanta Falcons involving the first draft pick, and he says absolutely Tim Dwight was a critical part of that deal.
It would not have happened without Tim Dwight coming here.
Flutie going to throw to Dwight. That's complete inside the 30 for another first down. 11 yards.
The blitz, it's tough to blitz the San Diego Chargers, I think. They are well schooled. They know how to pick up the blitzers. They're going to give the quarterback time. So what happens when you do all that? Defenders have to play off the wide receivers. Doug Flutie throws to wide open Tim Dwight. You know, just following the NFL and being an ex-player, I know that North believes in protecting his quarterback. So blitzing him, it's hard to get there.
Dwight is in motion. Flutie throws the quick pass to Dwight inside the 20, and that's another first down. And Flutie calls timeout to stop the clock with 17 seconds to play. Go back to that kick out of bounds, and you absolutely said that's a mistake.
Oh, you know, I know they didn't want the long return, but the ball kind of got away from Elam. He kicked the squibber, and it hit the ground and went right out of bounds, and all of a sudden the Chargers go, ooh, you know, we can do this. 2 timeouts, 41 seconds.
You know, missed opportunities notwithstanding, we have seen an awful lot of the elements that make up Norv Turner's approach to an offense. And Mike Riley was telling us, you know, when he talked with Norv Turner, he likes everything that Norv Turner stands for. Run the ball, play action, add the screen game, reverses, and you've got Norv Turner's offense.
Well, that's what Mike Riley believes in. And that's, look, Greg, anytime you got an organization or whatever, you want it to be coordinated. So, you know, Mike Riley doesn't want a wide open offense and have a coach that coaches something different. So the fact that they both believe in the same thing on offense, makes it easier for them to communicate. and it makes the players understand that too.
Everybody's out of timeouts right now. Fletcher in the game. There's movement, and penalty markers fly as Flutie hits the deck.
Who moved? I didn't see it. I was too busy watching wide receivers.
Well, Chargers are applauding. And when the referee points your way, that's not good. Here's Bill Levy.
Offside. Defense number 91. We need to run
Four-time
2
Pro Bowler
seconds on the game clock to 15
Chester
seconds.
McLaughlin.
Clock
That's
stopped.
90 there. Oh, that's a good shot of it inside.
So is now a 1st and 5 from the 12-yard line.
You cannot be tackled inbounds. There will not be time for the quarterback to kill the clock. There won't be time for the field goal unit to run on. So Doug Flutie has got to be extra careful and really quick in his decision-making right here.
The Denver Broncos defensive backs lined up across the 5-yard line. Flutie throws this side complete and out of bounds at the 6-yard line to number 83, Steve Hayden. 11 seconds remain. And that'll be enough for a 1st and goal.
Four for 4 in this drive. John Butler, the general manager, and it's Mr. Spanos, Alex Spanos, the owner of the San Diego Chargers. Next to him.
He was also in a good mood this weekend. But, you know,
sure.
You go through a whole season like last year, and on opening day, they equal their total number of wins. Fletcher out as a wide receiver. Flutie going to loft it to the corner, intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by number 26, Eric Brown. That's his first interception of the year, and that will bring to an end that drive.
What a play by Eric Brown. He comes off of his receiver, sees the play. It's a good design by the Chargers, and he comes off from the outside and goes to the slot receiver and makes the interception.
And so with 6 seconds left on the clock, we'll presume that Brian Greasy will just take a knee here, and that'll be the end of the first half. So the Broncos put the clamps on a San Diego drive here at the end of the first half with the interception, and it's 13-7. Let's go down to Armin.
Coach, that last interception sort of a microcosm of the first half.
We have squandered a lot of opportunities for some more points, and obviously that hurts. We just got to come back out in the second half and make some of these plays.
All right, Coach. Greg?
All right, Armin. Our halftime score, San Diego with a 13-7 lead on Denver. Coming up, we'll send you to Jim Nance for the next halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry get you caught up on all the scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news, and a CBS News update. America on guard after these messages from your local station.